really excited to be meeting Gus Brooks-Simpson in week 4 of the Disrupt Space Artist Takeover. We're talking to Gus, who's actually in Jamaica at the moment. Whereabouts in Jamaica are you?
Right. So, good afternoon, Veroni. It's a pleasure. Right now, I'm in the beautiful parish of St. Elizabeth. Yeah, I've been down there for a while. I've done a bit of moving about. I've gone down to Kingston a few times and spent a bit of time down there. But naturally, with everything that's kind of going on, it's very restricted, and this is my first time being here. But the people that I am with normally say, "Oh, well, this is more hassle than it normally is," or "There's more people here than it normally is." So a lot of the time, I've just spending my time just staying in my residence over here.
Yeah.
But, you know, hopefully when things alleviate, I can actually enjoy a bit more of the island.
Yeah, because you're in lockdown in paradise. Is it quite a rural?
Oh, man, listen. Yeah. So I'm in the more country part. St. Elizabeth is more like countryside part, so it's more over to the west of the island. And yeah, it's nice, you know. It's just like a bunch of farms and trees and country, and so the scenery is a lot different from what I'm used to. And even in Kingston, it's a lot different, you know, because there's a lot of gutters and, you know, like more like a concrete jungle more in Kingston, but over here it's more like you're really in nature, and it's all the way up in the mountains as well. So yeah, it's nice, and you know, I could definitely say creatively, it's probably definitely hit something
inspiring, right? That lush setting.
That's the word I wanted to use. Inspiring. You know, it is somewhat inspiring.
I am fully jealous. I thought I had lucked out being in lockdown in Kent, but I think Jamaica definitely tops it. So really good to talk to you. Just to say, it's just a little bit of a kind of a slightly windy line, so bear with us. You know, I think it's understandable given that we're doing this on Zoom from UK to the Caribbean. So I'm hoping everyone's speaking. So Gus, you're to encapsulate everything that you do, we're going to call you a creative, and I want to hear from you about all the different disciplines that you are involved in. You seem to be doing 1,000,001 things. So maybe you could start with just kind of diving into what being creative means to you.
Okay, I can do that. So at this point in time, primarily, I'm an illustrator. I'm an illustrator. So, and that's primarily on like canvases and like traditional paper, things of that nature. I'm dabbling in digital work. I used to do a bit of music, but I kind of put that to the side just because of obviously the amount of money and time and resources these things consume. So you're just like, all right, you know what? I'm kind of, certain things got to take precedence over other things. The illustration definitely takes precedence over the music, but probably more so writing and, you know, a little bit of poetry is maybe more what I do now, you know, and the fashion as well. I do a bit of that. Again, that's probably more with the digital work. I first started dabbling with that when I used to work in Zara. Once you're in a certain environment, you know, you see things and you're going to be inspired. I'm like, you know what? Like some of these I used to see some jackets, you know, in the men's section. I'm like, you know what? There's a little sale come on. I'm like, you know what? And plus by discount, I'm like, let me get a few of them jackets and just buy them and let me do something to them, right? So I bought a few jackets and I would like draw a picture on paper, color it and everything. And I'm like, you know what? I really like this picture I've done. Let me scan it in and then let me get this put on the jacket. Like it was hell of expensive as well, especially if it's like embroidery.
Is there demand for customized?
Oh yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there is. Already I've some people have come to me and I've had to sell them something because they're like on my case and they're like, no, I really want this, Gus, and you need to give it to me. I don't care if you're not selling yet. You need to make sure this is gets to my person.
The market's there, like, ready and waiting. That's good.
Right, yeah. So I'm like, all right, cool, and because I thought it was a cool idea, but it's just the amount of people that would actually come to me, and they sounded like they were more interested in wearing my work as opposed to having my work sitting or hanging in their house somewhere, you know. So it made me think a bit. Yeah.
And is that, I'm going to jump like straight into your work then, if that's all right. Unless there was any other disciplines that you're trying. Textiles, music, poetry, writing, illustration, digital.
Is there anything else?
What about the skateboards as well?
Oh, right. Listen, I have no interest in skateboarding beyond like actually, let me take that back. When I say I have no interest in it, what I mean is I don't skateboard, and I have no interest in getting on the skateboard and well, hurting myself really in it. I have no interest in that, but like the sort of like the culture and the world and the paradigm that exists in, yeah, I feel like it's magnetic to me, innit? Like, I definitely, like I said, don't skateboard, but I thought it would definitely be cool to, you know, put my work on there. And again, innit, the type of people that ride skateboards are the type of people that tell me, oh yeah, I like your work, man. So
it must be really validating to know that people want to carry those messages around with them, as garments or skating with them, or you know, that it's not something that they just want in their own private home, but they want to really, it's a statement they want to share and
right, yeah.
What is your practice like? How do you generate these?
It takes a while to actually become sort of conscious of the process, because for a long time it'll be very automatic, you know. For most of my life that I've been drawing and any form of creative expression, there's not really like a very cohesive thought process behind it. Maybe I would say with writing, it's a bit, you mean there's a structure while still trying to be able to be free, and you know, but in art you can just cut all corners and you can just do what you want. And beyond like doing art in school, I never did no sort of like higher education into it. So, you know, all the sort of like the theorems and the sort of schools of thought behind it, I'm not really too, you know, familiar with all of that. But this is a bit philosophical. But you see, as a creative or an artist, one way I think about it sometimes is I'm not actually creating anything. Everything I'm making on that canvas, I'm taking from the world around me and I'm putting it there. And I haven't created it. I've just extracted it, and I've just, you know, regurgitated it on a canvas. That's probably more the creative process that I would say I do. I see something and then I'll take that, and then I'll take something else, and then something else, and then another thing, and then I kind of have my picture. But when I'm taking these things, it's not really a conscious of like, I like that, and I like that, and I like that. It's almost like an automatic process in my mind. So the picture will just come to me.
It'd be really interesting to understand what it is about that leopard, for argument's sake, and that tree that's drawing your attention.
I could definitely say it's like it is like structure, shapes, colors. It's like again, in it, because I never went into any sort of like, never did any higher education. It really took me a while to sort of like, it was more through reflection that I'm like, oh, okay, like understanding the significance of these sort of things. It's only when I'm looking at my work and I'm like, oh, I always seem to use these colors or these shapes, or like even just the fact that there's always got to be a person in my picture, like man, woman, child, it's got to be a person, because just I guess my love for anatomy.
I'm wondering, like, as you start to place down these patterns and these colors, and you bring in those figures and that and the anatomy, and you know, do you conjure up your messages or your stories, because they're so rich with narrative, your painting, your illustrations? Are they emerging as you're bringing these different elements together, or is it something that is afterwards you're like, oh, actually this painting's saying this? Or what point does the narrative come in?
I guess maybe not consciously. I'm like, all right, I want this to be the sort of story, and you you know, the angle that I'm coming from. But when you're there working, and I guess when it's coming from you, naturally, I feel like naturally, you could look at any artist's work and you can learn certain things from their work just from observing their work, looking, paying attention. And if you're truly paying attention, I think you'll see like pieces of them. So can I say I consciously put a narrative? Not really, but I would say it's got to come out because I guess maybe I do have opinions and I do have, you know, ideas and thoughts on things. So I feel like naturally these will seep out into my work. It's very organic, so it's very hard for me to say this and that because a lot of the time it's, like I said, it's just automatic and it's not really me consciously taking things and putting things, but it's just more like, all right, going with the flow. And honestly, the amount of times I've spoken to someone about my work and they're telling me what they see in my work, and I've had to look at my work and be like, yeah, you're right, you know, I do see that as well. And, you know, from the first time I got that, like, I guess that's kind of always been like almost like a perk of the job, innit? I'm like, I can't wait for someone to just point something out that I'm not aware of.
Totally.
You know? Yeah, it's happened enough times, definitely more than enough times. So, like, honestly, it's just, that's what I love about my work still. If I had to say one thing. Yeah.
There's a lot of symbolism, a lot of religion, a lot of kind of archetypes in your paintings. Really good to hear a bit more about.
I think that's a pillar in my work. I would say that for sure. That like the sort of like, I feel like every piece in myself, it'll make me self-reflect and, you know, really like ponder on questions and even existence and all these types of things that, you know, maybe we're less inclined to do in, like, especially in this day and age. It's just like, I don't know, it's me. It's like the way I feel and the way I'm thinking about things. And, you know, I feel like oneself is very important. We're adults, so I could definitely probably say we understand the importance of and the danger of like losing yourself in the world or just in things in the world, you know? And like, I'm not putting a warning out there in my work, but I feel like you're going to see sort of like maybe that struggle that I have with myself and the things around me. And that's probably my work that I try to do the most above all else, is try to just explore something. I don't have the answers, you know. But I'll be looking at my work and I'm like, you know, maybe a few years ago I'll be looking, I'm like, I like it, you know. And there's always a self-reflective element there, but more so now, I'm like, oh wow, like I'm looking at my work and it's like I can almost see through my work, and I'm like, oh wow, that's a bit raw, innit? Like that's a bit full on, and I'm like, oh. But if that's what my heart and my spirit's saying, and I put it on canvas, then, you know.
I'm interested to hear like about your thoughts on the concept of disrupt space.
Honestly, I'm like akin to sort of something like what Sharon said. Like, it's, you know, it's like you're part of something. You're part of something which actually means something, which you can say, yeah, you know what, I actually stand for, you know, the tenets and what this organization, this collective is trying to do. You're part of a collective and we all have sort of like a similar goal or similar intent to sort of like, you know, make some noise in this field that we're in, you know, and demonstrating like our craft and, you know, the world that we're coming from, our perspective on things, our ideas on things, because I feel like these things are really more, when you're looking at someone's artwork, you're not just looking at it because it looks nice, you know. And what I've noticed is a lot of the time, people are very more actually interested in the artist rather than the artist's work, because it's really what the artist embodies and how they feel. And when you're interested in who they are, what they produce is a byproduct of them. So you're going to be equally interested in the work that they produce, because you know it's going to have some form of their ideologies or or their political ideology, whatever in it, whatever they stand for, whatever. I feel like these things are sort of like important, and I feel like each artist in such space has something in them that would make an individual say, you know what, I want to go to that Disrupt exhibition because I want to go and check out so and so, and I know that artist feels this type of way, and I know they're part of this, and I know this artist indulges in that. So you get me, and I just feel like it's just the variation, and the one head's looking in that direction, you got another head looking in that direction, that kind of energy. So it's just nice, you know. So I don't feel like anyone could ever really go to an exhibition, a Disrupt exhibition, and you know what, there wasn't one thing in there, you know, I didn't like. Yeah, that's what I feel about Disrupt. It's amazing, isn't it?